So we're now putting our final touches on this diagram so that we can start eventually adding on our vegetation information. We're going to get it to a point in a Word document so that it's ready to go for our next stage of our vegetation data. So for now, we need to label our axes. So our horizontal axis, which is our distance from our creek being 0, both to the east and to the west, and also our vertical distance above the creek's surface. So to add these axes labels, we go into Layout tab at the top, Axis Titles, and we'll start with our horizontal. Choose Title below Axis. You'll notice that it comes up with a little box, but if you just don't do anything and start typing, it will come up in this function bar and it will automatically put it down into that box below our axis. So our horizontal axis is distance from the creek. Open brackets, we need to include our units of measurement, which of course is in meters. Notice that with our axis labels that they use title case. So large words use capitals at the beginning of the words, but small words like if, of, then, the, or from usually don't have capitals. If you now press enter, it's automatically included the information down in our axis label. Follow the same procedure, go into the layout tool, axis titles for our vertical axis title. One of the conventions we use in geography is to use a rotated title. It means that if you turn your page 90 degrees to the right, which is a convention if you have something which is not vertically read, then you should be able to read it. Again, in this case, we're looking at height above creek level. Open brackets, units of measurement, close brackets, press enter. So we've now got our axis labels. At this point, it's probably a very good idea to save our file. So if you choose File, Save As, choose your report folder for geography, and I've called mine Riparian Profile Completed, so that I know that what I've got there is the most up-to-date version. Now we do want to drop this into a Word document. We could drop it straight into our report template, but it's easier to manipulate in a separate Word document. When we're happy with it, we will snip it and drop it into our template so that it doesn't move around once we start typing around it. So click on the outside of your graph, Control-C to copy it, open up a Word document, and what I'd like you to do is to change the page layout orientation to landscape. Control-V to paste it in. Now, to try and maintain our proportions, when you get to the edge, so you click on the outside of our graph or our profile, and to maintain those proportions, it's best to click Shift and then click and drag your profile out. And you'll notice that it has moved proportionately. The final thing that we need to do is wrap text it. So we want to right click, wrap text, put it behind text, and we want to drag it towards the bottom of our page. Now we don't want to go all the way to the bottom because we're going to put a border around this eventually, and we want to, when we put it into our normal Word document, be able to insert our figure number and title. So just move it so that you've got a fair bit of space at the bottom. And what we do need to establish is we need to remove the border from this particular box. So click on the chart, right click, Format Chart Area, border color is no line. press close, and we lose that border, which is good. The other thing we'd like to do is remove this top line. The easiest way to do it at the moment is to create a small little box using our shape tool, going over our line and then changing the colour, the fill and the outline to white. It means that it essentially hides our top line. One more thing, we're going to create a border for our entire document. So we create a rectangle. We make sure that we include some space above, and we shape fill, no fill, and our outline needs to be in black. Now the reason we've left all this space up here is because once we include our vegetation information on our profile, we're going to need to create a legend for it. What you need to do now is save this document, again in your report folder for geography. And you're going to call it Riparian Profile. And then we will allow you to move to the next video with our vegetation in the next session.